up. No one has the balls to sit them down and say, look, just cut the shit.
Welcome back to another episode of Enough of the Bullshit, and we have the man, Ol'Hughesy.
Ol'Hughesy.
He's back. He's back. What's going on, brother?
Oh, just having a nice St. Patty's pint.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, man.
Happy St. Pat's. I see you got the green on.
I do. Yeah, rocking the old Toronto St. Pat's jersey right now. So I had a fun day. How about you, man?
I had a busy day. I had to work.
See you rocking a pretty dope jersey right now too.
Honestly, it comes out once a year every year, and it's like my St. Patty's Day classic. Like every memory I have on Facebook or Instagram, I'm wearing this.
Right on. Nice. And who is it? Who's on the back?
Paul Pierce, bud.
It's a Paul Pierce. Fucking A. Like I said, folks, we got a basketball man here. So, getting in back to the basketball, we left last week on a bit of a, I guess we could say a bit of a high note. Hey, Kenny?
Yeah, for sure.
We have an argument here. Like, there's an argument to be made. And, Kobe Bryant, he is one of the greatest basketball players that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
No doubt. Absolutely no doubt. But there is an argument to be made that, everyone puts Kobe in the same book as like MJ.
Yep.
And everyone forgets about a certain player. Now, who is that?
Best power forward of all time, Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. Yeah. So, Kenny, tell us, how is there an argument to be made? Because, like, trust me, a lot of people, I hear them speak, they think, they talk, Magic Johnson, they talk Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant. I don't hear a lot of Tim Duncan. And why is that?
I don't know. I guess he's not a very flashy player. He doesn't have those big highlight dunks, those game-winning threes. He's a little more effective. And, like, I got to say, I'm a little biased because I'm, like, a Spurs guy, too. I've always been a low-key fan of the Spurs. And so I've watched a lot of their games, and I've seen a lot of the plays. And, I mean, they're not the most fun and high-flying team historically. But, I mean, they're one of the most storied franchises in the history of sports, let alone just NBA. I mean, they
got a lot of championships, man.
A lot of championships, and I think their playoff drought just started after like 20-something years, like consecutively making the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Wow. Yeah. So as far as like when we get into the Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant argument, like when everyone thinks, okay, rings. Okay, yeah. They both got 5 rings.
Yep.
Okay. Let's stop fucking talking about the rings. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. The nitty-gritty. What's going on? What's going on with that?
You can go into all the stats. Like, I'll keep it top level, but a lot of these times, you're talking about some of the greatest players. You're talking about some of the biggest forwards, top centers. You talk about Shaq. You talk about Karl Malone. You talk about Wilt Chamberlain. Tim Duncan doesn't forget. It's brought up.
And those are all big boys too. And like, let's not forget, Tim Duncan stood at what is he, 7'1"?
I think he's
7?
like 6'11" or 7 feet. He was a big boy.
He's a big lad. Yeah.
Big boy. The old fundamental. Big fundas. But this guy.
But athletic as fuck.
Oh yeah, the man can move.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure people have seen some of the pictures of him over the years of his career where, he's dressed in like Birks, some like baggy jeans, and like a weird Fat Farm looking oversized polo shirt.
That's just the fucking style. That's just the style.
Yeah,
you can't hate the man for style.
I don't know. The Birkenstocks and jeans has never really been a thing.
Yeah, well, hey, when you have millions in the bank account, who gives a fuck, right?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had like some stats just putting down that I guess just not even an argument versus just Kobe, but I know that's kind of like where it kind of stemmed from. So I just had these comparative notes. So you said that they both have the 5 championships. Duncan's had a championship in, I believe, 3 decades.
Wow.
One in 3 different decades. I could be.
So that would obviously be
corrected.
that would obviously be the 90s.
Yep.
The 2000s.
Yep.
And I guess, what would you call it? The 2010, 2010s, right? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the All-Stars are pretty similar. 18 Kobe, 15 for Duncan. MVPs, 1 for Kobe, 2 for Duncan. twice as many MVPs, and that's not an easy trophy to win.
No, it's not.
All NBA first team, Kobe on 11, Duncan on 10. All NBA teams total, so second team, third team, 15 and 15, so they're tied there. All defensive team, Duncan had 15 appearances on that to Kobe's 12. And then the icing on the cake is the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Kobe
Kobe
don't
didn't
have
take
that.
that.
Yeah, Kobe doesn't have that. Yeah,
No.
which is fucking shocking, to be honest. Like I didn't know Kobe didn't have that, and I honestly didn't know that Duncan had it. So it's, that's actually kind of shocking. Yeah.
And it's not even to say, and I'm not arguing that Duncan by any means is better than Kobe or better than anyone. I'm
No, it's an
arguing that
argument.
he should be in the conversation as one of the better players to play the game because the stats don't lie. Guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, I just named off all these things.
Yeah. Oh,
And
absolutely.
there's people on this list who get into the Hall of Fame who've done much less in their careers than Timmy. So that's like my argument. Just to have him in the conversation, not so much that he should be considered one of the best players of all time or should be talked about with MJ or Kobe or LeBron, Magic, Bird, whatever. But I mean,
But one day he will. No.
I mean the stats are there. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Is he?
numbers,
So he's not in the Hall of Fame yet.
I don't think he's got his like first year open of eligibility. I think I don't remember how many years you got to be out until you're allowed to be, I guess, welcomed in. Or
I guess what, he retired 4 years ago, 5 years ago,
I
something
can't
like that.
remember off the top of my head. No, but yeah, his
I
window will
remember when
come.
they did the whole tribute to him, but I can't remember how many years ago. I remember watching it when he came out with his family and everything, but I just don't remember when that was. It was like 4 or 5 years, maybe. It could be longer, it could be less. I don't know, but I do remember watching it. But it wasn't, it wasn't too long ago, but it wasn't years ago. So,
Yeah, I mean, my memory's not as sharp as it once was. My memory's never been sharp. That's why I write things down. I have a notepad in front of me.
yeah.
I
Well, this
can't
is why
remember
we're
shit.
fucking. This is why we're fucking assholes and don't do fucking notes. But either way,
I was just saying that there's an argument to be made that he is considered or should be considered in that conversation.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
not to say he is the best. We're not going to put him in the top 5.
no one here is saying he's the best.
But he's the best power forward. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll argue that one.
No, but he's got to be up there in the top 10 of all time, just there by what you just presented,
Yeah.
right? So
I mean, it's an argument. Like
Yeah.
I said, it's not saying that I wouldn't consider him one of the best of all time when you rank all these other players who've played before him, after him, currently.
yeah,
But I mean, he had
people need to know who
illustrious-
they need to know who the fuck he is.
He
is
had
what
an
you're saying.
illustrious career.
So
that
what you're
should be
saying-
documented and just spoken of a little more. Put some respect on the goddamn name.
Yeah.
Timmy D, the big fundamental.
Timmy D,
Boring as hell to watch, but effective. Champion.
Timmy fucking D,
Most valuable player.
Timmy fucking D, is what you're saying.
The big fundamental.
People need to fucking recognize.
Yeah, and that's just my little rant. That's it. That's my little rant. I'll let you have your time to rant. I know you got some stuff on your mind you want to chat about, but
Fuck, Kenny, you don't even know. So I told you we were texting today. We were fucking texting, and I told you what I wanted to rant about, and we're gonna get into that. But
hold on a second. I want the mic to hear this. There it is. Cracking a cold one.
Nothing beats that sound, eh? I got one ready to go. I think I got like 2 sips left, and then you're gonna hear another. You're gonna hear a crack. A crack. Yeah. Okay, so today, I didn't tell you about this. So today, Christy had an appointment in the morning, so I woke up and I'm like, okay, I had a headlight go out. I'm like, I need to go to Canadian Tire. So I'm like, I'll take the baby, go to Canadian Tire. So I figured, you know what, Canadian Tire, for those folks who are familiar with Bowmanville, the Canadian Tire is literally right beside Walmart. So I'm like, oh, I'll do the tour, right? If you're going to go out, you got to do the tour. You know what I mean? I'm already out. I got the baby. I got the bag. The diapers are loaded. Everything's ready to go. Might as well do the tour.
The
right?
baby bag.
Yeah, the tour, right?
The tour with the baby bag.
Yeah, so exactly. So our Walmart has Timmy's in it. So I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll go in there. I'll grab a cup of coffee, grab something for dinner tonight.
Doesn't have a fucking McDonald's?
It
What?
does have a
Walmart
McDonald's.
Doesn't have a McDonald's.
It does
Has a
have-
McDonald's and
a
a Tim
Timmy's.
Hortons.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Gee.
So I go in the Walmart, do my thing, come on out, and I'm loading Charlotte into the car, and I'm fold up the what the fuck do you call it? The stroller. Brain fart, right? So I'm putting the stroller in, the bags in, put Charlotte in the car, and I look over and I notice that, there's a car idling in one of the spots that says it gets designated for not just the mother to mother expected mother or handicap or whatever. Like they're all in a row usually. It's not the expected mother. It's pretty much like the person with a baby. I don't know how it's worded, but pretty much person with a baby. Yeah. Right? Car idling, grown woman in the front seat, car's idling. And I'm like, you know what? If the car's idling, that means someone ran in to get something, which I better see a fucking baby when they come out. Like I better see that person with a fucking baby I'm slow. I'm taking my time because I want to see that person walk out with a fucking baby. So I'm putting this in the car. I put this in the car. Finally, I load Charlotte in, give her a little kiss on the forehead. I'm taking my time, right? Finally, close the door and I'm getting in. I go around the car and I'm getting into the driver's seat. Buddy walks out. He walks out with
baby.
No baby.
No baby. Classic.
No baby born. No stroller. No nothing. Just one box of whatever. I don't know what it was, but let's call it a box of pasta. Right? Gets in the car. Well, he's going to get in the car. So I said, "Oh, hey, bud." And I don't know. Sorry, folks. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have taken out my fucking phone because it was perfect. Because I do have my daughter in the car, so I'm not about to go start a ruckus here.
Got to set a good example.
But you got to set an example, right? Well, you got to set an example. We don't want to set a bad example. You're absolutely right, Kenneth. So I said, "Hey, bud, where's the baby?" And the guy turned over and he looks at me. He's like, "Oh, well, what are you talking about?" And I said, "Well, seems you're parked in a spot that's dedicated for a person with a child." He's like,
"Don't see your baby."
Don't see a baby. He goes, "Well, I'm just running in and running out." And I said, "Well, that's okay." And I did a scan. I did a quick little scan while he was looking at me. Literally, we're talking 9:30 in the morning. Okay, 9:30 in the morning on a fucking Wednesday.
Grocery clerk hasn't even checked in for his morning shift.
There's the parking lot's not even a quarter full. Not even a quarter full. The parking spot beside him is there's no sign for anything. No handicap, no nothing. To me, that's just pure disrespect.
It's ignorance.
Ignorance, laziness. And I said that to him. I said, "Hey, bud, to me, that's lazy and ignorance." Well, I'm just running in and out. And I said, "Okay, I understand that, but why couldn't you park somewhere else?" Because there could have been a lady that came by and wanted to park in that spot that had a baby or a father like myself. That's ignorance. And then as he's like, "Oh," I just shut the door and drove away because I'm setting an example for my daughter. I don't know. To me, I think I was in the right. What do you think?
I mean, you love to have your 2 cents said and heard. Mm-hmm. So no shocker there that would be your course of action. I, on the other hand, would take much more of a sassy, more of a sarcastic approach. I myself, if I was to say anything to this gentleman, might be like, "Oh, I noticed you don't have a child." He might say, "Well, what is that to you?" Don't know. I guess not everyone can read. That's not me.
Yeah. Well, that's another way.
I might say something like that. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah.
It really depends. Yeah. I mean, if this guy, it's a busy day, and I'm this dad, you know what? Fuck it. I'm a single dad. I'll tell him that. Be like, "Hey, man, some of us single dads, it's tough enough out there for a fella. You're taking all of our good parking spots." Sorry, I went in there with my baby bag over my shoulder, daughter on the other hand, trying to get a case of beer. How am I supposed to carry all 3, sir?
Yeah.
Especially drag it out 25 extra feet because you had the luxury of parking in my spot. But I mean, I don't know. Typically, I usually go the sassy route. I'm not a conflict guy. Yeah. I like to give my 2 cents in a very sassy, sarcastic way. And if you pick up on it, we're probably gonna have an argument because you're not gonna like what I say.
Yeah. And I'm the same way, but I had my daughter with me, so I'm not looking for a fight here. I'm just looking for a, "Hey, fuck you," it's subtly "fuck you," and I went on with my way. So I think I was proud of myself, because if I didn't have Charlotte with me, it may have escalated a little more. But speaking of Walmart parking lots, nothing grinds my gears more. Like, my blood is boiling right now just thinking about it. Okay, people that don't put their fucking buggies back in the corral.
Oh, you gotta cart it in the corral.
Like, there's buggy houses there for a reason. Now, if you're the person that doesn't put their buggy back in the corral, why don't you just park closer? I don't know.
They make it easy.
They
for
do
a
make
fella,
it so easy, and it grinds my gears. And I've countless times tell people, like, hey, that's not where your buggy goes. And I've had people tell me where to go. They say, hey, go fuck yourself. Or, mind your own business.
Tell you where to put it?
They tell me where I know where it goes, but fuck you. I just don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, with me, if I'm feeling lazy, I'll park closer to the, like, no one parks right beside who parks right beside the buggy corral? You're asking for a ding on your car, right?
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. It's just me. What do you think about that, Kenny? Ol'Hughesy, what do you think about that?
Just for the sheer pleasure of being able to utilize the word corral effectively while communicating to my wife, like, I got to take the cart over to the corral. That's reason enough to put it away. How often do you say corral?
Corral. Unless you're going to the...
Oh, hey, boys, you want to go to the bar and corral a few young ladies? No, you don't say
Unless
that.
you're going to the corral in Oshawa.
Oh, the dirty corral. No, I don't go in there. Oh, that sounds like a nitro Guinness.
Oh, yeah, buddy. That's a true stout. Which, by the way, folks, if you haven't seen my video on Instagram about how to pour a true stout, check it out. Anyways, continue, Kenneth.
Nice plug. I was gonna say, just to use the word corral is great enough, but just reminds me of those days way back when we had one of those first jobs when you're in high school, back at the Frills.
Mill Frills at Port Union and Island Road. Yeah.
Or as we like to call it, no fun.
Yes. Those were the good days, man. And I do remember when you'd get that page. Buggies to the front. Buggies to the front. And that was our cue. So we'd go to the front. We'd go outside, and we were...
Oh, yeah. You shotgun that. Shotgun, going out.
We're going. And we'd go out, and that was pretty much like it was a given. An extra 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, depends.
Oh, yeah, you milk that. You milk that shit to a nice 15, 20-minute paid break.
Mm-hmm. And we'd go out, we'd hack a dart first. And we'd gather a game plan. Hack a dart, gather the game plan, and then be like, okay. Because I think that No Frills parking lot only had 2 corrals, if I'm not mistaken. I think they had 2 corrals.
Yeah, I think they just had
corrals.
2.
So we'd tackle our game plan.
Double-sided, though.
Yes, double-sided. And let's not forget about the double-sided corral, because that's technically it's four corrals.
One big corral.
Yeah.
4 places to put
Exactly.
your car.
So, and people were, for the most part, in the east end of Scarborough, pretty damn good with putting their buggies back in the corral.
Well, you know what? You had to put the 25 cents in to get your cart to begin with. So everyone's really just a cheapskate. They want their
but you'd be surprised about how many people that didn't give a fuck about that quarter. And for the...
Well, they just fucking launch it right in there. They don't care where it ends up. It's in the corral. They don't care how it ends up. They don't care. Corral.
And then our the 17-year-old little pricks, which were us, would come running for that quarter. And we'd always have a little competition at the end of that little 10, 15-minute run, who had the most quarters in their pocket at the end of the day.
I made $1.25.
But there was a little Coke machine when you came in to the entrance of No Frills. It was a PC Coke machine. They had all the PC Coke brands. And we'd, like I said, we'd hack a dart. And then we'd collect our buggies and, have a handful of quarters. And we'd grab a couple cans of Coke. And they were like 50 cents at the time. And it was...
No, the nice Coke, the brand name was 50 cents. That PC stuff, it was 35 cents. So if you got that 25 cents, even just one cart, 25 cents, all you got to do is scrounge up a dime. I mean, you could find that in the produce aisle with the fucking Granny Smiths. And you got yourself a little PC Diet Coke bud. And you're good to go.
I don't know. For the most part, people were pretty good with putting their buggies back. I don't know. We'd get the odd job where they'd be like, oh, there's reports of a buggy down at like the Rouge Hill Go station, and everyone would just throw their hands up like, I got it. And that was just like, I'll take like 3 hours, give me 3 hours. I'll go get that buggy. Really, it's a
25-cent overtime.
It's a 10-minute
sure.
walk. It really would only
uphill both ways.
So those were good times, man. Those were good times. That's, but at Walmart, you don't need a quarter. So that's probably why people don't give a fuck. But I see it at some No Frills and Loblaws too. Actually, I don't think Loblaws takes the quarters, but either way, I see it too much. Costco, that's another place that's a joke. It's like, look, come on. Like, just put your fucking buggy back. Like, come on.
Anywhere you get a large group of low IQ individuals, you're going to have some sort of issue with something that seems like an easy task to complete, but for some, that's a very tall order to
and
especially putting a cart away. I mean, to you and me, it's like
I'll go put my cart back.
I put my cart. Where do I put it? In the
cart corral.
I corral it in the cart corral, and I use the word as frequently
because you don't get to use it often.
Because, as I mentioned, you don't get to use that word. It's a great word. It just flows.
But
off
see,
the mouth.
we got to get society has to get away of the what's the word I'm looking for?
Ideology.
That it's not my job. I don't have to do it. It's like when you get up at, I don't know, if you're at a restaurant even, and you just leave the fucking table a mess, like just tidy it up a bit. Make yourself look a little presentable.
Totally. Stack your plates when you're done.
If you're at McDonald's,
server.
Right? Like if you're at McDonald's, put your fucking tray, empty it in the garbage, put it on top of the garbage.
Yeah, for you and me, 1 + 1 is 2. For some people, I mean, it's a tougher question.
We got to get away from that's not my job. That's what that person gets paid to do. Well, you know what? The guys collecting the buggies, 9 times out of 10, that's not their job. 9 times out of 10, their job's stocking the shelves, facing the shelves, doing this, doing that. They got to go out and do the buggies separately, right? So,
I mean, in our case, we were busy trying to flirt with girls.
Well, yeah, and that's how I met my wife, right?
I mean, proof is in the pudding.
Right on. Well, anyways, that was the rant of the day. We're gonna cap it off here. I can't. This episode just flew by, Kenneth. Flew. Rapid.
Yeah, we should corral it. Just corral the whole episode. And you know what? I'll let you edit the whole thing because not my fucking
well,
job.
we're not gonna edit much. I'm gonna do a quick little rapid fire with Kenny. 3 questions. Okay.
Oh boy.
Favorite Irish whiskey? Go.
Writer's Tears.
Oh, it's fucking beauty.
It's delicious.
Favorite stout? Go.
Kilkenny, because it has my fucking name in it.
Well, there you go.
Is it a stout?
Kilkenny. I think it is.
I don't think it's. I don't know if it's.
It could be.
Whatever. Then it's Guinness. I mean, I'll take the
whatever. It's Irish. Neither of us are Irish, but and then we're gonna go with your favorite team that rocks a clover.
Well, I mean, I gotta go with the Celtics just because I'm wearing their jersey. It was an easy one. And other than the football team, the Celtic, I don't know anyone else who uses a clover.
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Matt Lindsay.
I'm Ol'Hughesy.
And we'll see you next week. Don't forget to follow KHuge32 on Instagram. Enough of the BS on Instagram. And Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Enough of the bullshit every Friday. Cheers.